A lot of us are getting on code, and they're tired of coming up with ways to try to run game on us. Most of Black society, we're rejecting who the Democrats are bringing around. Most of Black society, we're rejecting Kamala, Biden, Bernie, all of them, and that's a problem. We're pulling out of the process, as we should. As we should. If they're not going to do what we want at this point, it's a critical mass. We need reparations. We need tangibles. We don't want to hear nothing else. Right now, these white supremacists are wiping us out. Unless we get tangibles, we don't even want to have a conversation with you. So these white supremacists are getting very desperate with the need to stifle us, to shut us up. There was an article that came out a couple of days ago in the Wall Street Journal. I got to read this to you. I got to read this article to you that came out in the Wall Street Journal. The name of the article, and it was written by a white man named Lance Morrow. He's part of one of these little think tanks, the Ethics and Public Policy Center. I think they might be one of those Democratic think tanks, but he's an older white man. He's a part of these think tanks. So, they come up with ways. They sit up in these little think tanks coming up with ways to run game on black folks. But listen to this. And I guess this guy, he's supposed to be a liberal. But this is the article. It says, "The danger of debating reparations for slavery." It says, Democratic candidates posturing for an advantage and jostling one another leftward are testing the idea of making reparations for slavery an active issue in the 2020 presidential campaign. They should stop and think. The notion may be too volatile to indulge in a presidential campaign year. By pressing the issue, they may ensure the re-election of Donald Trump. Womp, womp, womp. So what? And along the way, make race relations in America a good deal worse. How bad can it get? How much worse can it get? How much worse can it get? Here they go. This is a white man basically telling black folks, look, there's a white liberal. Let's stop talking about reparations. You're going to make white folks more mad. So what? This is a white dude. So you're going to make white folks more mad. Okay. Y'all already mad. The white supremacists are already mad. Who gives a damn? I mean, y'all killing us with impunity. So damn. Let me finish reading this. Compensation for slavery is an inviting idea in principle, but it would be a nightmare in practice. Reparations in its current condition would not repair anything. Stop right there. Who the hell are you to tell us what we want reparations? We're saying it would repair a lot of the damage. So this is them trying to tell us what we need. Y'all haven't looked out for us. You haven't helped us. A nightmare for who? For you? Well, yeah, us existing is a nightmare for you. We don't give a damn about your nightmare. It's your nightmare. Hell, us just living is a nightmare for you. And this is a liberal talking. What, y'all gonna stop being white supremacists? What you talking about? Anyway, think of how the story might unfold. At first, the usual arguments would be explored. Pro-reparations people, both black and white, would quote Ta-Nehisi Coates, who writes beautifully and plumbs the ancient rages, but may be a little too eloquent for his own good. Passionate principle would pour from the house of indignation, and the arguments would be moving and persuasive, and many would say, yes, by all means, reparations. Those who are against the idea would counter with practical points. And these are some of the counterpoints that he said are practical. One point, tens of millions of today's non-black Americans are descendant from people who arrived in the country after slavery, and therefore cannot be held responsible for its crimes or legacy. Stop right there. Yes, you can, because if you benefited from it, you benefited from it. You came over here and you benefited from the free labor of African people, of Black Americans. You came and benefited. Y'all didn't immigrate over here and there was nothing here. When we got here, there was no country here. We built the country and the wealth. That wealth was locked in and maldistributed into white society, and they've doled it out based on race, and they dole it out now generationally based on race. So you benefited from the free labor of Black people, so you are responsible. All that, I didn't own no slave. Well, damn it, you benefited from slavery. Let's be clear. Y'all damn sure benefited from it. Y'all got on that boat because y'all knew the bag was over here waiting, and it was a bag that we created. Y'all jumped on that damn boat. Y'all didn't have a damn thing in Europe. You're over there in Ireland eating potatoes, over there in Italy eating fucking olives, broke as hell, and y'all heard the bag was over here that we created, and then you hopped on a boat with 2 nickels to rub together, and then came over here and enjoyed all the benefits of it. So you are responsible, and y'all were able to maldistribute those benefits and generationally pass them down. So stop. All right. The next point, more tens of millions are descended from people, both in the North and the South, who did not own slaves, or they are descended from white people who fought in the Civil War on the Union side, thus paid reparations at the time in blood. First of all, you paying in blood ain't no damn reparations, because a lot of the people who fought in the Civil War, they were compensated. The Civil War was not about freeing us. That was an afterthought. The North and the South were having a little brotherly spat. It wasn't about freeing us. The South was getting too powerful. The Union owned slaves up there in the North. Black people were enslaved in many of those northern cities. And after the Civil, remember, the North was losing the Civil War. It was Black people who came in and fought and helped them win the Civil War. After Black people helped them win the Civil War, and let's be clear, if it was not for Black soldiers fighting, the Civil War would not have been won by the North. I'm going to say it again. If it were not for Black people fighting in the Civil War, the North would have lost. All those military schools were in the South. The South was beating the brakes off the North. The North said, okay, we need to let some of these Black folks fight too. That's when they started winning. We saved them. We spilled blood in Selma. We saved the Union. We saved the Union. And not only that, when Black folks fought and saved the Union by fighting in the Civil War, after the Civil War, Union soldiers went down south and put Black folks in concentration camps and killed them down there in Mississippi, down at the Devil's Punch Bowl. Look that up. Those Union soldiers carried out a genocide against thousands of Black people down there that they don't like talking about. These are the Union soldiers who did this, not the Confederates. The Union soldiers did this. Look up the Devil's Punch Bowl in Mississippi. It's time to speak truth to power to these white supremacist lies. What you doing, Lexi?
You feel like it goes into something like me?
You what?
How you go on like
Oh, Lord. All right. Okay, here's some more. In fact, only a small percentage of the total American population were slave owners. Further, some Blacks and some Native Americans owned slaves. All right, here they go with that BS. Just because slavery was the main game in this country. They love to try to minimize it. Well, it was only a few slave owners and we had all this other stuff going on. The whole economy was slave-based. Everything in the economy was based on slavery. Everything. It wasn't just the South. The South was the agriculture arm of slavery, and they would refine the raw materials in the North. The whole country was benefiting on slavery. The South depended on the raw material. I mean, the North depended on the raw material from the South. That's why they said cotton was king, and not only cotton, tobacco, all that stuff was king. So the whole country benefited off that. The insurance companies were born out of slavery. The banks were born out of slavery. All of those secondary industries came out of slavery. The railroad system was born out of slavery. They had to come up with a way to bring the raw materials up north. The shipping industry was born out of slavery. They had to bring that up there. All those mills and factories came out of slavery. The whole damn economy was built around slavery. We were the fuel to all of it. So them trying to, it was just them. No, all of you benefited from that. The whole country benefited from it. Were there Native American slaves? Yes, we're looking for the bag from them too. There's treaties right now that's not even being honored. The Treaty of 1866 says that the Native Americans are supposed to give the black freedmen the same thing that they get from the government, and they go out of their way to not do it. So that's the problem. That's why I don't play that minority game. Because all of a sudden, when it comes to sharing resources as minority brothers in the struggle, they get the bag and go run and hide and come up with ways to not give it to us. That's why everybody has to hold their own nuts. And as far as this thing, well, blacks own slaves too, let's stop that. Because black folks, again, there were laws that made every black person de facto slaves, even if you were free. So let's stop that. Let's stop that. All black people were de facto slaves. Even now, we're still enslaved because white supremacy is slavery. But even back then, the black folks, they were trying to find a way to ship the free black folks over to Liberia. They were trying to ship the free black folks over to different places. So the free black people were under strict laws where their movement was limited. You understand? So black folks were still in a bad situation then. So a lot of black folks would use what little money they had to purchase their relatives and buy them out of slavery. So that's what most of that was about. So, and pointing to some Negro who might have been a slave owner, that's like pointing to Sheriff Clark and saying, well, some of y'all black folks, y'all be running jails too. No, most black folks don't co-sign Sheriff Clark, and most black folks didn't co-sign the cruel coons who was trying to be de facto white supremacists down there back then too. So that doesn't negate the fact that we're still owed reparations, because y'all could find a Sheriff Clark here or there in history. You dig? Oh yeah, black folks couldn't even wear their hair. For these free black folks, you had to wear scarves, especially down there in Louisiana. You had to wear scarves. You couldn't even wear your hair out. Your movement was limited. Black folks couldn't walk on the same damn side of the sidewalk as white folks. You couldn't look white folks in the eye. You get put in jail for looking white people in the eye. Stop it, if you were free. Yeah, a lot of black folks would buy the freedom of their family. So when they try to pull that, well, black people don't make do, it was black folks trying to buy their family members up out of that. You understand? And let me go to the other points this guy made. The races have become so mixed in America, it would be impossible to sort out the descendants of slaves for compensation in just proportion to the degree of their African blood. Stop right there. Stop right there. Oh no, let me finish this sentence. He says, America's first black president would presumably not be entitled to reparations. Barack Obama's mother was white and his father was a Kenyan who came to America not on a slave ship but on a scholarship. So yeah, so he wouldn't be qualified. Okay, that's not hard to figure out. How is that? See how they try to play dumb? That's not hard to figure out. Oh, it's impossible to figure out. No, it ain't. It ain't impossible to figure out. You just explained it and he ain't getting nothing. He's not a descendant of slavery, so if you're not a descendant of slavery, you don't get it. You don't get reparations. How is that so impossible to figure out? All we got to do is look at Ancestry.com or whatever, just trace our lineage or our ancestors back to like a plantation or to the 1870 census. That's when they first started taking the census for black people in 1870. If you can trace your family back to the census in 1870, then you good. But all this, oh, how we gonna know? It's just so impossible. Everybody's so damn mixed. We ain't mixed enough to discriminate against. They sure know how to lock niggas up. They know how to sort us out when it's come to locking us up. They didn't have a problem sorting niggas out in jail. When it comes to shooting us, it ain't hard to sort us out for that. When it's time to deprive us of resources and lock us in ghettos, it ain't that hard to sort us out. The jail's full of black folks. You had no problem sorting black folks out to lock us up. Now, when it comes to giving up some paper, I don't know. Who's black? I mean, y'all mixed. I mean, does Holly Berry get it? I mean, does Shamar Moore, does he get a check? And now they want to be dumb. Now they want to play dumb. It's not rocket science. We know how to do it. We'll sort it out. Yeah, we know how to sort it out. Let me read the rest of it. Then he starts going in on talking about Obama some more. He said, Mr. Obama is rich. So are a lot of other African Americans. Should reparations be paid only to poor blacks? What about the millions of black people who flourished economically in America? Would Oprah, estimated at $2.6 billion, would she be entitled to collect reparations? How does justice make these calculations? I'll tell you how, goddammit. If I got $2 million, give me my reparations check. I have $2,003. If it's a $3 check, give me my $3 dollars. Don't matter if you already got some money. They don't do that with other groups. Just because they got some money, they're not owed nothing by the government. Please. They don't do that with Native Americans or fake $5 Indians. If something's coming to them, they don't see what kind of financial situation all of them are individually. They give it to that group. Yeah, don't worry about don't worry about what I got. Just give me what I'm owed. Don't worry about what I got. That's the problem. Don't look at me. Look at the check and sign it. Don't look at don't matter what I got. Give me more. Don't use that argument with there's some black people who's doing good, but too many ain't. And we're not going to live vicariously through folks. See, they want us to live vicariously through Oprah. They love throwing Oprah's name out there. That's where we get that from. Black folks get that bull from, we got to throw Oprah name. Oprah don't mean nothing. Ain't nobody living vicariously through Oprah and Beyonce and Jay-Z. They want us to live vicariously through them and say, okay, look, they made it, so anything is possible. No. Because what happens is that they select a few black folks, uplift them, and then when they're done making an example like, oh, everybody can make it, then they strip them of their resources. Give me more. White supremacists say that to me all the time. Well, Tariq, why are you always complaining about white supremacy, Tariq? We've seen your home. We've seen you. You don't look like you're struggling. You look like you're doing pretty well. A check would make me do better. That check would make me do even better. Yeah, I do good things because I understand systematic white supremacy. And I've learned how to not fall into the traps. I should not have had to work and struggle so damn hard to get what little bit I have. I should not have had to work that damn hard and go through so much. I shouldn't have had to do all that. While y'all in the dominant society sit up on those slave resources that was generated by my folks, and y'all just get to sit on your ass and just pass it down to your dumbass kids and pay for them to get degrees that they don't deserve, pay for them to get out of jail for crimes they should be punished for, put them in rehab for dope they done smoked up, and you using all my grandma and great-granddad's slave money for opioids and mayonnaise. Damn it. I need that money so I can chill. I shouldn't have to sit up here and work all damn day to get what little bit I have. I would be a billionaire if it wasn't for white supremacy. Give me my damn check. Don't worry about what I got now or any other black person. Don't worry about what they got. Give them what they're owed. Give them what they're owed. You dig? All right, let me read the rest of this. Here we go. An urgent argument against reparations is that instead of acting upon the American divisions as a positive and healing gesture, the issue would throw open a trap door out of which all manner of bigotries and bitterness, all the black bats of American history, would fly. It would push the country to angrier extremes on either side, stimulating fresh antagonisms. It would reconstitute America's old racial conflict among new 21st century lines. Is this dude on meth? This dude is just splaining. Dude, we're already there. The white supremacists are already mad and hostile towards black people for no reason. So damn what they feel. Black folks, his whole argument is, look, you're going to make the white supremacists even madder. So what? Refresh. Dude, he's trying to run this whole thing that racism ain't the way it used to be. As a white dude, you can be in denial. We can't afford to be in denial. Right now, we are in a genocidal stage of racism right now. I don't give less than a damn about what a white supremacist think, because they don't think about us anyway. They think about us only in negative terms. They think about us in negative terms. They have hatred and disdain for us, and we've done nothing to them. Black folks have sat up here and whined, marched, prayed, forgived. We sat up here. These people kill our kids, or their kids. They ain't gonna kill mine. They kill folks' kids, and they're running around here, black folks forgiving them. You've bowed down and scraped as low as you can bow down, and they still despise you. There's no lower you can go to bow. That's why I say what the hell I want to say to these white supremacists. I'm not bowing to them because there is no bottom to how low you can bow to them. It doesn't matter how low you bow and scrape and beg and plead. It don't matter. They still gonna kill you. They're still gonna mistreat you. They're still gonna deprive you of resources. I'm not here to stroke their damn ego and make them feel good about deprivation and me being on the bottom. Damn that. Get up off your damn knees. Get up off your knees with these folks. This is that Democrat talk. Just sacrifice yourself and keep bowing down so that things won't get bad. It's already bad. Let me read the rest. The reparations debate would falsely impute guilt for centuries-old wrongs and would tempt those so accused into further invidious generalizations in an age of social media and hostile identity politics, an age that's too much given already to irresponsible generalizations. So he's saying we're going to falsely impute people of guilt. If you are in the dominant society and benefiting from systematic white supremacy, which is non-justice, and you're not doing anything to replace that non-just system with a system of justice, then you are guilty. They're always telling black folks that we're all responsible for Chicago. What about black on black crime in Chicago? How come y'all black folks ain't doing nothing about Chicago? We're all responsible for Chicago. We're all guilty because of Chicago. We're all guilty because we fit the description of some damn body. But none of you are guilty for maintaining systematic white supremacy and benefiting from it and not doing anything to produce justice. If you are not producing justice, you are guilty of that. And you should be called on that, and you are responsible. Here we go. There's the rest of it. It's better to keep monsters, old and new, locked in the basement and to let the conversation upstairs in the living room be as genteel as possible, even hypocritical. In matters of race hate, candor is overrated. Hypocrisy may be the moral way to go until, as time passes, people become more civilized. Wow. So this guy is saying it's okay to live in a system of hypocrisy. You guys have moral strength. As long as you're morally, I know society treats you wrong, but having moral strength, that's better. You black folks being morally, that's what they're telling us, to have some moral strength. And we need to wait until the white people become more civilized. We got to wait until the white supremacists become more civilized. This is, I guess he's a Democrat writing this. How long are we going to wait for that? How long are we going to wait for the white supremacists to become civilized? These people have lost their damn mind, right? These people are, the white supremacists are raping kids. They're into bestiality. They're killing black folks with impunity. It don't look like no civilization is coming anytime soon. This whole thing, let's just wait. We gonna wait them out. Black folks, don't let these folks run that game on you. You'll be waiting until you dead. There's one Negro left. And that's what they want. This is what he's talking about. They want us to not do nothing. See, they see that black folks talking about reparations, when we're making demands and we're standing on that, they see where that's going. So they're trying to talk us down. Hey, y'all better be morally better than that, black folks. They're trying to sell wolf tickets. No, don't get too aggressive now, because we'll get real angry. Y'all already angry. We'll just wait. Eventually we'll get more civilized. No, you won't. Black folks are taking action. We're starting to think in terms of action now. But ain't nobody waiting. We're not going to sit up and wait on no damn genocide, because that's where this is headed. We're not waiting on no genocide. They're not going to lift a finger to help black folks up when these white supremacists start trying to openly attack us. And trying to, because that would be a big mistake, by the way. Let me read the rest of this stuff. As a practical matter, reparations cannot be done, and it will not be done, though politicians will champion the idea to advance their ambitions. If actually attempted, reparations would raise expectations to an unreasonable pitch and then would become hopelessly tangled up in politics and bureaucracy. Well, y'all can sit up talking about reparations won't happen. Well, guess what else won't happen? Black folks are not going to vote for the Democrats. And then your party is going to crumble. We're going to completely disengage that party, and that party will crumble. Black people have the power to destroy the Democratic Party. Running around hollering about Trump, that doesn't scare us. See, two can play that game. If you ain't gonna do something, we ain't gonna do something either. We ain't gonna vote for you. We're not going to support you. We will make the Democratic Party null and void. Because you're worse than the Republicans at this point. So you can play, we ain't got nothing to lose here. We have nothing to lose here. Y'all copping, please. We stayed on the same message. You see them going back and forth to their little think tanks, coming up with ways to run game on us. You see they doing a lot of work over there. We ain't doing that much work. We on code with it. Where's the money? What? Okay, y'all got somebody else out? Okay, Joe Biden, what's up with the money? Well, ain't no money. Okay, we're going to holler at you. Bernie, what's up? You got Bernie? Where's the money? Whoa, no. What's reparations? Well, go on over there till you figure it out. Kamala Harris, what's up with the bag? if you think I'm going to give something just for black folks, no, I'm not going to give anything just for black. You know, I should be mumbling. I'm not going to give anything just for black people. No, I ain't going to get that. Well, mumble your ass over there with Zaddy. We good. We good. We good. Figure it out. But we'll play that game. If you ain't gonna give up the bag, we ain't gonna get you're not gonna get our support no more. And black people, we've been the most consistent voting bloc for the Democratic Party for years, and that's going to stop. We'll let them crumble. See, the thing is, this whole thing where y'all trying to run game on us, y'all don't want to do nothing, but y'all want to come down to the church and play the saxophone and do the Dougie and listen to Cardi B and take pictures with Al Sharpton and you eating chicken wings at Sylvia's Soul Food. That ain't gonna work no more. Playing us like we're stupid, that ain't gonna work no more. You're gonna all have to hold your own nuts, and if you don't have the bag, we'll let you crumble. You're gonna crumble. We're gonna be in the same position we've been in. And actually, we'll be better because we'll be on code and we'll know what we need to do to uplift ourselves without you. So it's a win-win situation for us either way. For black Americans, it's a win-win situation. So we don't need you at this point. If you're not giving up the bag, we don't need you for anything. As a matter of fact, the Democratic Party, voting for the Democrats at this point is suicidal. Everything about the Democrats works against black society. The immigration policies, those LGBT policies, all of those things work against black society. It all works directly against us. It would be suicide for us to vote for them without getting a bag. And we know this instinctively. The Democrats, y'all owe us anyway for the way y'all treated us and y'all had that benign neglect policy. We came out in large numbers for Obama and the Democrats let black people get slaughtered in the damn streets. Shame on you for coming to black folks demanding any damn thing. The way y'all let black people get slaughtered and didn't lift a goddamn finger. The first thing out of any Democratic candidate's mouth should be how much y'all need. The first words out of y'all mouth when y'all come out should be about reparations. And if it ain't, we don't want to hear nothing you have to say. It's that simple. As much as we carried your party, as much as we have lifted up these immigrant groups and all these other groups on our shoulders, and everybody's eating off us, the first thing out of your damn mouth should be, black folks, how much do you need? Anything other than that is disrespectful. Period. Anything other than how much is disrespectful. Y'all talking about the Green New Deal. Get your green new ass out of our damn face. Kamala talking about, well, I got the lift all. I'm going to lift all people. Lift your ass out the room. Lift that. If the first thing out of your mouth, you should be volunteering saying, how much should we give you? Instead, y'all still being disrespectful, talking to us like we stupid. Let me read the rest of this. The possibilities for corruption would be endless. At first, reparations would look like a big rock candy mountain. And after that, it would become jaundice and jaundice. I don't know what that is. He's making some kind of real old reference. I don't even know what that is. The drama would disappoint everyone, and in the wake would leave deeper disillusion. Better that the reparations should come as they have been coming, slowly, steadily, though with frustratingly uneven justice. What are you talking about? There's no reparations. Basically, he's talking about, well, let's just talk about it forever. Basically, he's saying, let's just talk about reparations forever. Let's just slowly talk about it. It should come slowly. The hell are you talking about? No. This is somebody who's in the privileged class telling us it should come slowly. What the hell are you talking about? It's better that African Americans should remind themselves of what Booker T. Washington, A brilliant black guerrilla leader in the totalitarian white South, grievously mistaken by his own people for an Uncle Tom, was trying to tell them more than a century ago. Living well is the best revenge. So this guy is basically saying, just be happy that you're living. You're not living that well. I mean, revenge? We ain't talking about no revenge. We ain't talking about no revenge. We're talking about Booker T. Let me get on that Booker T. Washington thing in a minute. But this ain't about revenge. This is about what we're supposed to get. And understand, they like throwing in Booker T. Washington. Booker T. Washington was a writer. Booker T. Washington couldn't stand the white supremacists. He would get money from them and secretly, in his diaries, talk real greasy about white supremacists. He hated the white supremacists. And he would fund black radical groups with some of the money he would get. So Booker T. Washington was more like us. Booker T. Washington was a writer. He made the white people think he was a sellout. That's why they liked him so much. See how he tried to put that Uncle Tom thing on black folks? See, black folks thought he was an Uncle Tom. No. White people like Uncle Toms. He was Tomming for white people, but in black society, he was funding these radical black groups. You dig? He was a real one. But listen to him saying that living well is the best revenge. Why don't y'all just be happy to be alive? If you want to get back at us, just live well. We'll get the message. No, you better give me those checks. Let's give the checks out. No, let's get that bag going. You dig? Yeah, money is the best revenge. This ain't about revenge. It's about what's owed. It's about what's owed. See, they talking in these old sinister terms. Because see, they know how we talking right now. We want the bag. And we're on code. And we're not trying to hear none of the game that they're running on us because we know it's game and they know it's game. They sit up in these little think tanks and come up with ways to talk to us like we're stupid, to con us, to manipulate us, to hustle us, to disenfranchise us. And they see that we're not going for it. They see that we're on code and they're trying to talk us down. It's imperative that we get reparations from the dominant white society because it's money that is owed to us. It is our money. You ain't doing us no damn favor. It's our money. The wealth was generated by our people. You understand? And other groups get it. We got to get it. It's just that simple. We'll let the Democratic Party fall and destroy itself, which is good. That's not a problem. That ain't no problem at all. And the thing is, a lot of black folks out here, see, these people are trying to remind us of our position. See, that's them trying to remind us that we need to be on the bottom, stop asking for anything. Slavery wasn't that bad. Well, just be glad you ain't a slave no